Good afternoon, everyone. It's time for Strat-O-Matic baseball. I'm playing around with the angle. I'm not sure about this. Hang on a second. Now we're upside down? Are you kidding me here? Sorry about that. It suddenly flipped upside down on me. Spokane Steve here, bringing you another Strat-O-Matic baseball game from the 1966 replay, April 22nd today. And it will be the San Francisco Giants at the Houston Astros, the first of a 4-game series. The Giants come into the game 6-2, just a game out of first place. The Astros 3-6, 4.5 back, which doesn't sound like much, but it's early, and to fall 4.5 back after only playing 9 games, well, they're 3-6. So anyway, I won't go on and on about that. 2 righties on the mound today. Bob Shaw for the Giants, and as you can see, he'll be traded to the Mets at some point in this season. Dave Giusti gets the start for Houston. Shaw with a 4.29 ERA, Giusti with a 4.2, so very evenly matched. And we're going to go ahead and get to the starting lineups here, and we'll get things underway. For the Giants, it will be Hal Lanier leading off at second base, Jesus Alou in right field, Willie Mays in center field, Willie McCovey bats cleanup at first base, Jim Ray Hart at third base, Orlando Cepeda is in left field, Tom Haller will do the catching and hit 7th. Dick Schofield gets a start today at shortstop. He'll bat 8th. And Shaw, the pitcher, bats 9th. For the Astros, it will be Joe Morgan at second base, Sonny Jackson at shortstop, Jimmy Wynn in center field, Jim Gentile in the cleanup spot today, playing first base, Rusty Staub in left field, Dave Nicholson in right field, Bob Aspromonte at third base, John Bateman will do the catching and bat 8th, and Giusti bats 9th. And welcome Franklin. Right? Yeah. Made it to the park on time, and they wouldn't let you in. Everything was upside down. So we're about to get going here. I'm using a slightly different angle, trying to see if I can see these cards any better. I'm telling you, my eyesight has really dropped off the planet in the last month. I don't want to belabor it, but I know I've mentioned it before that I have an optical appointment on January the 3rd, and that can't come soon enough for me. Anyway, we're ready to get this one going, and Dave Giusti's completed his warm-ups as Hal Lanier steps in, right-handed batter. Umpire shouts, play ball. Here's the pitch from Giusti. We've got a 6-9 to the right-hander. That is going to be a single to 11, triple 12 to 20, and on a 15, that's going to be a triple for Lanier. So let's look at that again more closely. On a 6-9, a homer 1 through 11. He's a weak. The roll is a 15. Lanier scoots around, coming in with a lead-off triple. How about that? That's an exciting way to begin a ball game, with a triple. Holy cow. And here's Jesus Alou now. This early Houston will play back. The pitch to Alou is a 4-6 to the right-hander, and he walks him. So Gisty already in a jam here in the first inning. Runners at the corners and nobody out. And here's Willie Mays. McCovey on deck. All right. Infield back, and from the stretch, Gisty pitch to Willie Mays is a 4-5. That's going to be a grounder to shortstop X. That's Sonny Jackson. He's a 3E40. As he ranges behind the bag, here is the play. On a 9, that's going to be the error range. So on an E40, the roll of an 11, it's a ground ball A. That's going to be Jackson. He's got it behind the bag. Flips to Morgan to first, double play. Wow. Oh my God, what a play by Sonny Jackson. Lanier, of course, will come in to score on that, and it's 1-0 San Francisco. But still, it's a huge play. And Mays not easy to double up by any means. And now with the base is empty, it'll be McCovey. The windup. The pitch to Willie McCovey, a 5-11 to the lefty, and he walks him. So the second walk issued by Justy this inning. McCovey not a threat to run, of course, and Jim Ray Hart will be the batter. Okay, Justy ready now from the stretch. The pitch to Hart on a 1-7 against the righty, fly to center field. That's playable for Jimmy Wynn, and that will retire the side. But the Giants get a run on one hit, and they leave a man. The end of half an inning. It's San Francisco 1, Houston coming to bat. Here at the Astrodome. That's right. There were about just a tick under 21,000, I should say, in attendance for this game in real life. In real life, the Astros won the contest 2-0. I started putting that in there. I picked that up from Jeffrey as well, which I learned a lot of things from him. And if you haven't checked out his Strat-O-Matic broadcasts, I'll go ahead and put the link right here in the chat. 1969 Strat-O-Matic baseball, 1972 Strat-O-Matic football. And Bob Shaw has completed his warm-ups now. And up steps Joe Morgan to lead things off for the Houston Astros. Shaw gets his sign from Haller. Here's the windup. The pitch to Little Joe is a 2-7 against the righty, a fly to center. Mays drifting over, easy catch for Willie Mays. And there's one away. And here's Sonny Jackson now, left-handed hitting shortstop. Shaw the windup. Here's the pitch to Jackson. It's a 4-6 to the lefty. He walks him. Those B's aren't very good, are they? I've been trying to write smaller, but it's hard for me. So Jackson aboard, he has blazing speed, enough to be held on. To make matters worse, Shaw has a poor hold, a +4. So Jackson even held on as a 1-18. And with Jimmy Wynn at the plate, he's going to try to establish the lead, 2-9 or 12. And it's a 10. And he's nailed. He's caught stealing automatically on the 10. So Haller throws down, nails Jackson. And there's 2 away, just like that. So yeah, for those of you that don't play, 2-9 and 12 is for the lead, but when there's anything after the slash, Oh, I'm sorry. That's Jimmy Wynn's card. Oh, what an idiot I am. I stand corrected. On a 10, nothing happens. If Jimmy Wynn had been stealing, that would have been a caught stealing. But Jackson has no automatic. There's nothing after the slash there. So Jackson does not establish a good lead. And he stays at first base, held on, and Jimmy Wynn is the batter. I beg your pardon. I'm glad I caught that. So here's the pitch to Wynn. Whoops, that one came out. That's going to have to be a re-roll. Fouls one off. Here's the next pitch on a 2-4 against the righty. A grounder to third base B. That's going to be a force. Hart has it down to Lanier, and that's all they will get. So a 5-4, Jackson is forced, and Jimmy Wynn's aboard with 2 down. And Gentile will be the hitter now. Gentile, left-handed batter, monstrous power threat in his younger day, but by 1966, Jim was at the tail end of his career. Still decent power against the righties. And here's the pitch from the stretch. On a 4-5 against the lefty, gets a grounder to shortstop X. That will be Schofield. Schofield is a 3E56. The advanced chart does not even go that high. And here's the play on an 11. That's going to be the error range, and he boots it. The roll is an 8. That will be an error. Schofield. Wynn holds at second. E6, error on San Francisco, and that puts runners at first and second with 2 away, and Rusty Staub will be the batter. Shaw getting some signs from Howler now from the stretch. Pitch to Rusty Staub. It's a 3-7 against the righty. It's a pop. He pops him up on the right side. McCovey's got it, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, 2 left on. At the end of 1 inning of play, it is 1-0 at San Francisco. Excuse me. As we move along to the second inning, it will be Cepeda, Howler, and Schofield due for the Giants. Here's Cepeda now, right-handed batter. Justy gets his sign, the windup. The pitch to Orlando is a 3-11, grounder down to third base. That's going to be Aspromane. He'll throw him out, and there's 1 away. Excuse me. Here it comes again. Still fighting through a little bit of congestion. But I've got my tea and honey here. That helps. So here's Howler now with 1 away. Left-handed hitting catcher. Justy the windup. The pitch to Heller is a 4-4, grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Jackson, a 3E40. Jackson into the hole. Here's the play on a 1. He's not going to get that. That's going to be a base hit. That's a tough play for anybody. And Heller's aboard with a single. So a 1-out single from Tom Howler. That's going to bring Schofield to the plate. Schofield, a switch hitter. He'll be batting lefty against Justy. From the stretch now, pitch to Schofield is a 3-8, and he draws the walk. Howler will move down to second, and there's runners at first and second with 1 out. Shaw, a right-handed hitter of 4, also an A bunter. So we're going to roll for in or back. 1 through 3, it's in. It's in, that makes him the B, and he's going to lay it down anyway. A 6 on a B, that should be good. And we've got a sacrifice bunt, perfectly executed by Shaw. So both runners move up. on the sacrifice bunt by Shaw. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 down, and Hal Lanier's the hitter now. Pitch to Lanier. That's going to be a 5-4 against the right-hander. That's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Aspromonte. Aspromonte, a slick fielding third baseman, a 2E18, and here's the play. On a 16, he makes it. Fine play by Aspromonte, and that will retire the side. No runs a hit, 2 left on. And welcome Bob. And welcome Kurt. Oh yeah, I always liked the Giants, and I'm a Dodger fan, so I'm probably one of the rare ones, I guess. But yeah, around this time period, how can you not like Mays and McCovey? I was in awe of those guys when I was a kid. And Marischal. And Kurt, I have been to Leavenworth. It's been a while. It's a cool place to go. Just for an overnight or to spend a weekend or a couple of days. When you're retired, I guess any days are the weekend, right? So 1-0 San Francisco. Shaw getting loose here to go to work in the second. It'll be Nicholson, Aspromonte, and Bateman for the Astros. And here's Dave Nicholson now, right-handed batter. Looking at this lineup, I kind of wonder, don't you wonder why Nicholson wasn't in left and Staub in right? They're both 3 range any way you look at it. But Staub with the -4 gun, and Nicholson with a solid -1 arm, but Staub clearly the better throwing arm. Anyway, that's how they did it. Here's the pitch to Nicholson, a 4-9 to the right. He gets a base hit right up the middle. And Nicholson's aboard to lead things off here with a single. So Dave Nicholson, when did he bat that year? 246 and 280 at bats. He could take a walk. He had a 359 on base percentage. Excuse me again. Oh man, I'll be glad when this is over with. I go up and down. I think I've kicked it and then take a step back the next day. Aspromonte, a C bunter. The Giants will play back. From the stretch now, here's Shaw's pitch, a 6-4 to the righty. That's catcher's card X. That's going to be Haller. Haller, a solid receiver, at a 3E4, and here's the play. On a 1, that will be a pass ball and foul out. So Nicholson will advance to second. Pass ball charge to Haller. And Nicholson is in scoring position with 1 away, and here's John Bateman. I got to throw in a little side note about John Bateman. I've played a lot of keeper leagues, and anytime Bateman opposes me, and he's never been a great hitter. He was a good hitter this year. I take it back. 279, 17 home runs, but I'm talking about some of the years when he wasn't even good. This guy has haunted me throughout my years of playing Strat-O-Matic. Just this morning, he hit a 3-run home run against me in it was either the 1962 or 1965 cards. So yeah, Bateman wears me out. Anyway, back to this game. Runner on second, 1 down. Here's the pitch to Bateman on a 2-10. That's a grounder to third base. Hart's got it. Throws him out, runner holds. And that'll bring up Gisty. Gisty also a decent hitting pitcher, a 4 hitters card. He's a right-handed hitter. And here's the pitch. A 5-12 is a grounder to first base X. That's going to be McCovey. McCovey, a 3E25. Willie made quite a few errors in this season. It's a 2 on a 3, and that's going to be a single with a 2-base advance, and that'll drive in a run. So McCovey can't get to it. That would have been a tough play for anyone. And how about that? Dave Giusti has just tied up the ball game with an RBI single. And that'll bring up Little Joe. 4-6 to the left-hander, and he walks him. Giusti will take second. And Shaw in a bit of a jam here. There are 2 outs. And Sonny Jackson will be the batter. Jackson walked his first time up. Now here's the pitch. On a 2-7. That's a single into right field. It's an open single. Giusti can try to score on that. Right field is Alou, a -1. Giusti, any pitcher actually, an advanced version, a 1 through 10 with 2 outs, 1 through 12, -1. He's a 1 through 11. He's coming. Here's Alou's throw, and he is out at the plate. So Jackson singles, Giusti gunned down at the plate, and that will end the inning. The Astros tie the game, a run on 3 hits. They leave a man. At the end of 2, we're all knotted up. And maybe, Franklin, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but, Staub played for other teams too and still got a -4 arm. Montreal, who else did he play for? New York. The man could throw. The turf may have helped him. Do you mean to bounce it off of the turf? Or I'm not quite sure I'm not quite sure I understand that. Giusti getting ready to work in the 3rd. It'll be the top of the, no it won't be. Lanier batted. It will be Alou, Mays, and McCovey for the Giants. Giusti ready now. He winds and deals. Here's the pitch to Alou. That's going to be a 5-10 to the right-hander. A fly ball to center, shallow. Here comes Jimmy Wynn, still coming. Finally does catch up to it and makes the catch for the out. And here's Willie Mays, bounced into a double play in the 1st inning. Giusti, the windup. The pitch to Willie Mays. A 1-4, tapper down to 3rd. That's going to be Aspermonte. He's got it. Long throw across in time, and there's 2 down. And here's McCovey with 2 away. Giusti gets his sign into the windup. The pitch to McCovey, a 5-7. It's a double to 8. And on a 9, that ball is going to be run down in the gap by Jimmy Wynn. Nice play. So let's look at that again. 5-7, double to 8. And it is a 9. That will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Giants. After 2.5, it's a 1-1 tie. And welcome, Philip. Glad you could join us. Shaw gets ready to go to work here in the bottom of the 3rd. It will be the heart of the order. Wynn, Gentile, and Staub for Houston. Gotcha. Okay, Franklin, I get it. Oh, darn it. Frog's creeping back into my throat again. All right, we're ready to go here, bottom of the 3rd. Jimmy Wynn standing in from the right side. Shaw with the windup. And the pitch is a 4-3 against the right-hander. It's a fly ball to right field X. That's going to be Alou. Alou, a 2E10. Ranging towards the line. Here's the play. A 13, it's the error range. An E10 on a 3, that could be trouble. He can't handle it. It's off the glove, bounces against the wall. By the time he collects it, Jimmy Wynn is into second base. And that will be a 2-base error on Alou. So the second error of the ball game for San Francisco puts Jimmy Wynn in scoring position and nobody out. And here's Gentile. So Alou just misplayed it. It happens to the best of them. Alou is a good outfielder. Gentile stepping in now from the left side. Shaw checks the runner. Comes to the plate on a 5-5. Fly to center field. That's going to be Mays. Can of corn for the Say Hey Kid, and there's one down. And here's Rusty Staub. Staub 0 for 1. The windup. The pitch to Rusty, a 4-2 to the left-hander. That's a ground ball to second base. That's going to be Lanier. Sure-handed Hal. He throws him out. Runner holds. 2 down. It will be up to Nicholson. Nicholson singled in the second inning. Came around to score. Shaw ready now. The pitch to Nicholson is a 4-8 fly ball to center. Again, Mays gliding over, puts it away. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. At the end of 3 complete, it's a 1-1 tie. No, they really can't. It's just kind of built into the final results, I guess. It's not perfect, but I've played most of them, and this one's the best. It's pretty close. And greetings, Mark Sabo. Welcome. Glad you could join us today. Just getting started here. 1-1 after 3 innings. Dave Justy stretching it out a little bit. Now he's ready to go to work in the 4th. It will be Jim Ray Hart to lead it off for San Francisco. Justy winds. Here's his pitch, a 6-12 to the righty is a grounder to first base X. That's going to be Gentile. He's a 3-E-18. As he moves to his right, here is the play. On a 14, it'll be the error range. So he is an 18. The roll is a 7, and he boots it. It's a 1-base error, Gentile. So E3, first error of the game for Houston, and Hart's aboard. And here comes Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda playing left field where he's terrible defensively. And they really had to do that to get the bats of Cepeda and McCovey into the lineup at the same time. In fact, later in this very season, they will trade Cepeda to St. Louis for Ray Sadecki because they needed another starting pitcher. But right now he's at the plate and from the stretch. The pitch to Justy is a 5-12 grounder to first base X. Gentile will get another crack at it, a 3-E-18. Here's the play on a 3. He can't handle it. He knocks it down. It's an infield single, so the runner will have to hold up at third. At second, rather, excuse me, not at third. So an infield single off of the glove of Gentile. And it's first and second with nobody out. So, you know, with Keith Hernandez down there, there'd be 2 outs and nobody on. But as it is, it's first and second, nobody out, and here's Howler. And here's the pitch from Justy, a 2-3 to Howler. It's a ground ball C to first base. Gentile's only play is to flip to Justy, and both runners will move up. So that makes it second and third and 1 down, and here's Schofield. And Houston's going to pull the infield in now. Looks like it could be a low-scoring game. And here's the pitch to Schofield on a 5-9 to the left-hander. Fly ball to right field. That's very, very shallow. Nicholson in to make the catch, and the runners will have to hold. And Justy could get out of this now as Bob Shaw is the batter. Here's the pitch to the righty, a 2-7, swung on and missed strike 3, and that'll do it. So the Giants, no runs on a hit, they leave a pair. There was an error. And it's still 1-1. Oh my. And welcome Philip, if I didn't say so already. My age-appropriate adult brain. Almost think that could be tilted up just a hair. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Okay, Aspromani will lead it off here at the bottom of the 4th for Houston. Shaw, the windup. Here's the pitch on a 4-5 to the right-hander. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Schofield. Always an adventure, a 3E56. On a 19, he makes the play. How about that? So 6-3X, 1 down, and here's Bateman. Bateman 0 for 1. Shaw gets the sign from Haller. The windup and the pitch. A 5-11, tapper down to third base. Hart has it and throws him out. 2 down, and Justy will be the batter. Justy singled in the 2nd and drove in the only Houston run to this point. As Shaw goes into his windup, the pitch to Justy, a 3-6, struck him out. And 1-2-3 goes Houston in the 4th. After 4 complete, it's 1-1. So we've got quite a pitching duel going between Bob Shaw and Dave Justy here. And you gotta love that. I myself love a good pitching duel. Most of my favorite players throughout my life have been pitchers. When I watch a game where I don't have any real rooting interest, I tend to root for the pitchers on both sides. That's just how I roll. The Giants will send the top of the order in the 5th here. Lanier, Alou, and Mays. If anyone gets on, there's Willie McCovey. And speaking of how I roll, let's roll him. Justy won. Pitch to Lanier on a 6-5, fly to center field. That's going to be playable for Jimmy Wynn, and there's 1 down. Here's Alou now, 0 for 1 with a walk. Justy gets his sign. Here's the pitch, a 1-6 liner, speared by Jackson. So a line drive right at the shortstop, and that's 2 away quickly. And here comes Willie Mays. Willie's 0 for 2 today. Willie comes into the game with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Here's the pitch on a 5-7, base hit up the middle, and Mays is aboard with a 2-out single. Mays was not really stealing bases by this point. Justy a -1. He'd be a 16 if he could roll the 3, but it's really not worth trying it. If you could roll the 1, and then he's picked off. So McCovey will swing away. They're not going to take the bat out of his hands anyway. Mays taking a cautious lead. Justy from the stretch. The pitch to Willie Mack is a 1-8, and that's ripped down there just past the bag into right field for extra bases. Nicholson chasing it down. Mays will stop at third, and McCovey is in with a double. So 1-8 double to 8, it's a 4. And just like that, second and third, there are 2 away. And Jim Ray Hart will be up with Cepeda on deck. Here's the pitch, a 110, tapper down to second. That's playable for Joe Morgan. Throws him out, and that'll do it. So no runs, 2 hits, 2 left on, and it's still 1-1. Oh, Franklin, I'll tell you, at least in the time period of 1969 through 1971, I think they had the best team in baseball. That period may have stretched longer in one direction or the other. I'm not entirely sure. But for those 3 years, I expected them to win it all every year. They did do it once. Shaw getting ready to go to work now. It's the top of the order for the Astros. Joe Morgan to lead things off. Morgan 0 for 1 with a walk. Shaw the windup. The pitch to Little Joe is a 6-7 to the left-hander. A grounder to second base X. That'll be Lanier. Lanier about as sure-handed as they come with a 2-8. And here's the play. A 15. He makes the play. So 4-3-X retires Joe Morgan, and here's Sonny Jackson. 1 for 1 with a walk. The windup, pitch to Sonny, a 2-8. That's going to be a base hit up the middle for Jackson. And we already know about his wheels. And he's going to try to establish the lead. 2 through 5, 11 or 12. It's an 11. He established the lead, but it's also a 1, which is the pickoff number. So we'll roll for that, which I haven't done this yet. Where is that thing? I think you just roll for the second number. So he's a 1 through 14 to get back to the bag. And he's picked off on a 20. Oh my goodness. So Jackson's not having any luck. That's the first pickoff of the season that I can remember. It may not be, but that's the first one I can remember. So Jackson getting his lead. Shaw fires over there, and they've got him. Grady Hatton's out now jawing with the umpire. He's saying he was safe, but to no avail. And here's Jimmy Wynn. A 4-4 to the righty. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That's Schofield. 3E56. And here's the play. And we've got a dice down. 3E56, and here's the play on a 15. He makes the play. How about that? That's 2 X plays turned by Schofield. And that'll do it for Houston. No runs a hit, none left. We're through 5, and it's 1-1. Justy has allowed 5 hits. Shaw has allowed 4 hits. And to the 6th we go. I mean, in 1969, the Mets pitching was about as good as anybody's. Orlando Cepeda will lead things off in the 6th for San Francisco. Justy's ready now. The windup. The pitch to Orlando is a 2-7. Tapper to short. That's Jackson. He's got it and throws him out. One away, and Tom Haller will be the batter. Haller's 1 for 2. Justy the windup. The pitch to Tom Haller, a 6-7. That's second base X grounder. That'll be Joe Morgan, a 3E30. As difficult as that is to grasp. Here's the play on a 16. He makes it the play. Morgan fields it cleanly. Over to Gentile, throws him out, and there's 2 away quickly here in the 6th. And Schofield will be the hitter. Justy with the windup. The pitch to Schofield on a 110. Tapper down to second. Morgan to his left. Scoops it up. Flips to Gentile, and that will do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Justy. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 1-1 tie. You bet, Kurt. That's an impressive staff, too. Okay, we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. Gentile, Staub, and Nicholson due for Houston. Shaw ready to go. The windup. Here's the pitch to Gentile, a 5-7. That's going to be ripped into right field for a leadoff single. So a line drive single by Gentile. He's aboard. And here's Rusty Staub. Giants playing back. From the stretch now. Here's Shaw's pitch to Staub on a 5-3. It's a comebacker to the pitcher X. Shaw a 3E0. And here is the play. On a 16, that's the error range. An E0 is a ground ball A, of course. Shaw takes it. Fires down to Schofield to first, double play. So a 1-6-3 erases the runner, and with 2 down, Nicholson will be the batter. That was a 1-6-3X, actually. Not that it matters. Nicholson stands in from the right side as Shaw winds and fires his pitch to the plate on a 6-9. It's a high fly ball to left field. Back goes Cepeda. It's gone. Home run, Dave Nicholson. Oh, my goodness, and the fans are going crazy here at the Dome. Let's look at that again. 6-9 to a righty. He has the power. Homer 1-8. It's a 6. And that double play saved a run. But Nicholson has put the Astros on the board with a home run. And for Dave Nicholson, that's his first home run of the season. Oh, absolutely, Kurt. In fact, if you look at baseball history, going back to even before 1900 to today, every single rule change, without exception, has been made to benefit the hitter. They've never done one thing to help the pitcher. They want runs scored. That's what puts the butts in the seats. I don't personally like it, but that's the nature of the beast. And here's Aspromonte on a 4-9 to the right-hander. Base hit up the middle, and Aspromonte's aboard. Shaw and S7 as far as endurance goes, so that's not a factor yet, but the Giants are going to get someone up anyway. Joe Gibbon, the lefty. Bob Pretty, the right-hander, are loosening in the Giants' pen. Runner on first, 2 down. And here's Bateman from the stretch now. Here's the pitch by Shaw. to Bateman on a 2-7. Fly to center field. Mays has got it, and that'll do it. But the Astros break through a run on 3 hits, a solo homer by Dave Nicholson. And after 6 complete, they lead it 2-1. And hey, Yankee Bob, welcome, sir. I'm hoping that everyone had a wonderful Christmas. We're all ready to break in the new year. I'm ready to tell 2023, don't let the door hit you on the way out. So the Giants now trailing by a run. They're going to have to send up a batter for Shaw to lead off the 7th. So Shaw goes 6 innings. For 7 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2, and he struck out only 1 batter. Justy in the 4th. Joe Gibbon will come on in the bottom of the inning. We'll go ahead and pencil him in now. Gibbon, the left-hander, with the pitcher, Morgan, Jackson, Wynn, and then Gentile and Staub. Primarily a lefty-dominant lineup. And who's going to bat? They're going to bring up Len Gabrielson. Gabrielson also played in this game in real life. So the pinch hitter for Shaw, Len Gabrielson. Left-handed batter. Gabrielson was a pretty good hitter. Here's the pitch from Justy now. 6-7 to the lefty. It's a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Morgan. Morgan, a 3-E-30. Rangers behind the bag, and here's the play. He's up with it, turns and throws in time. Nice play, Morgan. And Gabrielson is retired. And here's Lanier. Justy the windup. Pitch to Hal Lanier, a 2-8. Grounder down to short. That's going to be Jackson. He's got it. Throws him out and quickly 2 down. Here's Alou now. The windup. The pitch to Jesus. The 3-6. Tapper down to short. Routine for Jackson, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justy. And after 6.5, it's Houston 2, San Francisco 1. The real life score of this game was Astros 2, Giants nothing. So it's very close. Not that that means anything. It means absolutely nothing, in fact, in a 1-game sample size. Oh, I think we all do, Franklin. Leading. This is tough now. They're up 2-1. Normally, this is where I would pinch hit. The way Justy's pitched, I'm going to let him go. Gibbon, the lefty, on now. Justy, a right-handed batter. Here's the pitch on a 5-3. It's a ground ball to the pitcher X. Gibbons, a 3-E-36. And here is the play. On a 5, that goes to the error range. A 36 on the roll of a 6, and he boots it. It's an error on the pitcher, and just he's aboard. So an error on Gibbon, the Giants' third error of the day. And now from the Astros side of things, they're probably glad they didn't pinch hit for Justy. Here's Joe Morgan now. Gibbon from the stretch. Lefty on lefty. It's a 3-6 grounder to first base. That's going to be a force play. McCovey will throw down to Schofield, and that's all they will get. Justy forced, and Morgan's aboard. Morgan an asterisk 15. Gibbon's a -2 now, so that would make him a 13, not held. And they're going to choose to not hold him. And here's Sonny Jackson now, left on left from the stretch. A 5-4 grounder to third base X. That's Hart, a 4E30. Hart, a hell of a hitter, but always an adventure defensively. 4E30, and here is the roll on a 5. He cannot get it. In fact, that's going to be down the line for a double. Rounding is Morgan. He's going to be held up at third. And Jackson is in with a double. And just like that, with one out, the Astros have the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second, and Jimmy Wynn at the plate. Rusty Staub on deck. Grady Hatton would probably pull Gibbon now, but he would certainly like to have his lefty out there to pitch to Gentile and Staub. So here we go. Infield in. Second and third, one down. The pitch to the toy cannon on a 1-6 high fly ball deep to left field. Back goes Cepeda to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Jimmy Wynn with a 3-run blast. Oh my goodness. Morgan scores. Jackson scores. 3 RBIs for the toy cannon. 1-6 against the lefty, no doubt about it shot. Against a right-handed pitcher, the split of a 19, he would have had a double. Still would have driven in 2. So just like that, it's 5-1. And here's Gentile. Gibbon shaken a little. Heller going out to the mound. The pitch to Gentile is a 2-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. So he got to face the lefty all right after he served up the fat one to Jimmy Wynn. And here's Staub. Here's the windup. Pitch to the orange. Grounder down to first base. McCovey will take it to the bag himself, and that'll do it. But the Astros pick up 3 huge insurance runs on 2 hits. There was an error, so one of the runs will be unearned. After 7 innings complete, it is Houston 5, San Francisco 1. Justy now very happy for 2 reasons. For one, they didn't pinch hit for him. They let him bat. And now they've given him a 4-run cushion to work with. And the Giants will send the heart of the order up in the 8th inning. Mays, McCovey, and Hart. If anybody gets on, Orlando Cepeda. So Justy's got his work cut out for him. The windup, the pitch to Willie Mays, a 6-7 grounder to second base X. That's Morgan, the 3E30. Morgan's been busy down there today with the weather. Here's the play on a 13. He's got it and throws him out. So Mays grounds out to second, and here's McCovey. Justy getting his sign now. He's set, the windup. Pitch to McCovey, a 1-4 high fly ball to right field. That ball is crushed. Nicholson just turns around and watches it go. Home run, Willie McCovey. Oh my goodness. And for McCovey, let's take a look. That's his 5th home run of the season. That ties in for the league lead. So 5-2 now, and here's Jim Ray Hart. The windup. The pitch to Hart, a 4-11. That's a base hit right up the middle. And it looks like Justy may be running out of steam here in the 8th. Activity in the Houston bullpen. Cuellar has been overworked, I think. He could come in an emergency, I suppose, but Claude Raymond's going to get loose. He was their save leader that year. And here's Cepeda. One more hitter walk will fatigue Justy. From the stretch, pitch to Orlando, a 2-10. That's a fly ball to right field. That's going to be playable for Nicholson. He makes the catch, and there's 2 down. And here's Howler. Justy from the stretch. Pitch to Howler on a 1-3. That's a base hit into center. That's an open single. Hart can try to take third. Win with a 0 arm. Hart 13 with 2 outs, 15. He's going to go into third. They'll cut the ball off. Keep Howler at first. And here comes Grady Hatton. Justy's fatigued. And it will be Claude Raymond coming on. Raymond led the team in saves with 16. Justy pitched a fine game, though, 7 2/3. 8 hits, 3 of them in this inning. He had a 5-hitter going into this inning. So you can't fault me for staying with him. You guys know I'll stay with a starting pitcher as long as I can. Justy's allowed 2 runs. The 2 runners on are his responsibility. He walked 3, and he struck out only 1. And here's Raymond now. Schofield, the hitter. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Schofield batting lefty against Raymond. From the stretch, the pitch is a 4-6. Struck him out. And that will end the threat. The Giants get a run on 3 hits, leave a pair. The run, of course, on the solo blast by Willie McCovey. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, Houston 5, San Francisco 2. Gibbon will come back out. It'll be Nicholson, Aspromani, and Bateman. Pretty is still throwing. Nicholson standing in from the right side. Gibbon lined up. The pitch, a 3-11. Grounder down to shortstop. That's going to be Schofield. Scoops it up and throws him out, 1 down. Bob Aspromani's 1 for 3 today. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. A 5-11, a base hit into left field. So Aspromonte lines a single into left. He's aboard with 1 out, and John Bateman will be the batter. John's 0 for 3. Pretty's ready to come in. From the stretch now, the pitch to Bateman. On a 1-5, that's a single with a 1-base advance. So 2 more hits allowed here by Gibbon. And here comes Herman Franks, and he's seen enough. Just-y do. And Bob Pretty's been called on. Right-hander. Let's total out Gibbon here. 1 1/3. He allowed 4 hits. 3 runs, 1 of them unearned. 2 runners on his responsibility. No walks and a K. Pretty, the right-hander. Excuse me. Raymond's a C bunter. 1 through 3, it's in. It's in. That makes him a D. He's going to lay it down anyway. No, he's a 4-hitter. He's going to hit. They got a 5-2 lead. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Pretty, the right-hander. Right-handed batter. 5-7. Grounder to second base X. That could be 2. Lanier is a 2E8. And here's the play. 2E8 on a 13. That's a force play. So 4-6, back to first, not in time. Aspromonte will take third. Bateman is forced, and Just-Y's aboard again. Remember, he singled back in the second, reached on an error in the 7th. So Dave Just-Y's been on base 3 times. 2 away, and Joe Morgan will be the hitter. Pretty from the stretch. Pitched to little Joe on a 2-7. Fly to center. Mays drifting over. Easy play for Willie, and that will do it. No runs, a pair of hits. 2 left on. And after 8 complete, it's 5-2 Astros. So we can close the book on Gibbon. Raymond came on in the 8th to strike out Schofield. He'll be facing the pitcher's spot. And then the top of the order, Lanier Alou. So we'll have a batter now for Pretty. Tito's not bad. They need somebody who can get on. They don't have a lot of great options. I think Tito Fuentes is the option, and that's who it's going to be. So Tito Fuentes will come on to pinch hit for Pretty to lead off the 9th inning. Astros leading by 3. Claude Raymond trying to nail it down. Fuentes, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Raymond. The windup and the pitch to Fuentes is a 5-4, and he walks him. So Tito draws the leadoff walk, and Hal Lanier will step up to the plate. Oh, you know what, Kurt? You're absolutely right. My apologies. However, on a forced play to shortstop, it really wouldn't have made any difference in the outcome, no matter what pitcher was up there. But you're absolutely right. That would have been Raymond's at bat. I'm so sorry. Fortunately, it does not affect anything. Here's Lanier now. From the stretch, the pitch from Raymond. On a 5-6, that's going to be ripped into the gap for extra bases. That's an open double. Fuentes can try to score on that. He's a 14. Wins a 0, but trailing by 5-2, trailing by 3, they're going to hold him up. So the Giants are threatening here in the ninth. Runners at second and third, nobody out, and the big boys are coming up. Alou with Mays on deck. They're going to play it back. They'll give up a run to get an out. Here's the pitch to Jesus, a 4-4. That's catcher's card X. That's going to be Bateman, a 3-E9. That is a 1, pass ball and foul out, so a run will score on that. Fuentes will come in to score. Lanier to third. Passed ball charged to Bateman, and there's 1 out and a runner on third. So 5-3 now, and suddenly here comes Willie Mays, and he represents the tying run at the plate. And you can't put him on. McCovey's on deck. So things are intense here at the Dome. 5-3 Houston, 1 out. Lanier is standing at third. Here's Willie Mays. Raymond, a full windup. The pitch to Willie Mays on a 2-10. High fly ball to left field. Back goes Staub, and it's gone. Willie Mays has just tied this game up with a 2-run home run. Holy crap. Oh my God, let's look at that again. A 2-10 versus a righty, no doubt about it. That's deep into the left field seats, and we've got a tie ball game. And the crowd is stunned. Activity in the Houston pen, perhaps. Zachary the righty, Cuellar the lefty. Raymond not fatigued. He's an R2 as far as endurance goes. He's going to pitch to McCovey. McCovey hit a home run in his last at bat. He's 2 for 3 with a walk. Here's the windup. The pitch to McCovey on a 5-10. Fly to center, shallow. Here comes Wynn, still coming. He's there to make the catch for the out. So 2 down, and it will be Jim Ray Hart. Hart 1 for 4. Raymond wide and delivers on a 2-5. That's a base hit into right field for Hart. And he's 2 for 5. And here's Cepeda. Bateman going out to the mound. And boy, he sure did do it again, didn't he? One of the greatest. In my opinion, the best player to ever play the game, quite frankly. And we could argue about that all afternoon, I'm sure. Two away, man on first from the stretch. The pitch to Orlando Cepeda, 5-7, is swung on and missed, strike 3. But the Giants tie it up, 3 runs. 3 hits, they leave a man. The pass ball did not affect the earned runs thanks to the home run. Wow. That's all I can say. So now I get a total out pretty. 2/3 of an inning retired the two batters he faced. Giants would like to have another left-hander here. I don't think they have one. They're going to go with they've got McDaniel and Frank Lindsay. Lindsay, the primary closer. They're going to go to McDaniel here. Both good cards. But it'll be Lindy McDaniel to pitch the bottom of the ninth. Could we have another extra inning game? Yet another, I should say. Oh my God. Absolutely nuts how tight these games are for the most part. Oh, you get your blowout every now and then. Okay, McDaniel's ready to work. It's 5-5, bottom of the ninth. It'll be Jackson, Wynn, and Gentile for Houston. Jackson stands in from the left side. McDaniel lines and deals, and it's a 5-7, single to 13, but on a 19, that grounder is going to be stopped by McCovey, who flips to McDaniel covering, and there's one down. And here's Jimmy Wynn. Jimmy Wynn had a 3-run homer of his own. 1 for 4. McDaniel, the windup, the pitch to the cannon, a 6-6. That's a base hit into left field. Line drive single into left for Jimmy Wynn, and he's aboard. An asterisk 15, he'll have to be held on. McDaniel a -1. That would make him a 1-12. Heller's a 0. And here's Gentile. Gentile's 1 for 4 today. Runner held. McDaniel from the stretch. Pitch to Gentile on a 6-5. That's a triple to 4, and look at that. It's ripped down the right field line. Here comes Wynn. He's rounding. Alou has it. He's coming to the plate, and he's in there on a triple by Jim Gentile. And the Astros walk it off. Oh my God, let's look at that again. It's 6-5. Yes, sir, triple to 4. The roll is a 1. How many 1s have I been rolling lately? And Jim Gentile has just won the game for Houston with an RBI triple. And he's a 1-8 runner. I mean, the odds are, hey, he did hit 1 triple in real life and 144 at-bats yet. How about that? Does he have a triple on his card? Yeah, he does. He's got a 3-7, 1-3. Nothing against the lefty, but that's irrelevant. He's facing a right-hander. And right, Kurt? Yeah, Gentile was a monster in his younger days. And he proves he still has something left here today. And the crowd's going crazy here at the Dome. Oh my goodness, just listen to him. So Raymond, who coughed it up, ends up being the winning pitcher. McDaniel takes the loss. How about that? Raymond in his 1 1/3 gave up 2 hits, 3 runs. See, the 3 to Gibbon. I may be wrong about that. Let's look at that. Error. Yeah, Gibbon did not allow 3 earned runs. One of those runs was unearned. So he did allow 3 runs, but 2 earned. Raymond came in here, so he walked 1 and struck out 2. McDaniel, a third of an inning, 2 hits and a run, and he takes the loss. So for the Astros, to total things up here, 6 runs, 13 hits, they made an error. The Giants, 5 runs on 10 hits, they made 3 errors. I'm laughing at Franklin's comment. You know, in real life, I scored it as a triple, but really in real life, Jimmy Wynn would have crossed the plate right as Gentile was rounding second, and the game would have been over, right? Wynn could run. So Raymond with the win, that's his first decision. He's 1-0. For the Giants, McDaniel, that's also his first decision. He's 0-1. The Giants dropped to 6-3. The Astros improved to 4-6. And thank you, Kurt. Thank you, everybody. What another great game of Strat-O-Matic baseball. Damn, this is a fine game. Like I say, I'd played the computer version and the online version for so many years, I had forgotten just how amazing the card and dice version really is. Tomorrow we're going to finish out April 22nd. And we're going to have the Pittsburgh Pirates at the St. Louis Cardinals. That'll be Tommy Sisk and Ray Washburn. So please do join me for that, 2 p.m. Pacific. In the meantime, this is Spokane Steve, or Steve Aquilon, or just Steve. Wishing you all a very pleasant good evening. Thanks, guys. Take care.